Good morning, Dr. Betsy and Dr. Sara. Thank you for being here today.
Good morning. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm so glad when we were arranging all this, I'm so glad you got to come today.
Yes.
Glitter and all.
Right.
All right, so we want to talk about menopause. What are the signs that maybe a woman is getting into menopause?
Yeah, so the signs can start to happen about 10 years before a woman's last period. So sometimes it can be really subtle. Sometimes night sweats that week before her period, sometimes hot flashes. There can be mood swings. She can start to have moments of brain fog, that word finding difficulty. All of those are symptoms of perimenopause.
What's the most, and aggressive is not the right word, but like the biggest symptom that you see, like that all of a sudden you know, like something is wrong and it's got to be menopause?
I think it's probably the hot flashes. That doesn't usually happen at other times in life. And then all of a sudden you're like, what is this? I'm hot and it's, I need to stick my head in the freezer. Where is this coming from? Am I sick? I think that's probably the most common one that we see.
And you know, it's something I feel like it's a subject that we just don't talk about.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it seems like everybody's talking about it. Like, why all of a sudden the shift?
Yeah, it's really puzzling because 20 years ago when the Women's Health Initiative study came out that said hormones are bad, hormones can cause breast cancer, they will cause heart attacks and strokes, and immediately the number of women who were on hormones just plummeted down to 4%.
Wow.
And so over time, they revisited that study and realized that there were some wrong conclusions that were made with that study. And word has just not percolated down to your community physicians or to women. But I think with the help of social media, the word is finally getting out. And so women are starting to realize, wait, this is not right what I've been told for the past 20 years. So thankfully, women can be empowered now to hear the truth and be able to know that there's something they can do for help, that hormones can be okay.
How important is it to have this conversation?
I think it's very important because I think a lot of the times you might experience certain things and you might kind of go off on a tangent like, you know, hot flashes, oh my gosh, is this something else? My joints ache, do I have arthritis? I mean, it can mimic several things. So having that conversation, you can kind of decide with your physician, is this menopause? Is this something else? And it actually can have some very beneficial effects for later in life in protecting your heart and your bones and even your cognitive ability if you can catch it early.
And if there's an actual test, right, that you can run that will say, yes, you're into menopause, or no, you just go by symptoms?
Really, you just go by symptoms. In the beginning, your hormones are all over the place, so it's really not helpful to test for perimenopause or whatever. It's just, we really go by symptoms. And the definition of menopause is 1 year without a period. So if a woman gets to 10 months and then has a period, that clock starts all over again.
Okay. And you guys have a seminar coming up to kind of make this more public and to be able to continue the conversation. So tell me about that.
So we are doing kind of a free lecture, and it's at the Ernestine Rackling Auditorium on the IU School of Medicine on the Notre Dame campus. It's on Tuesday, the 18th, and it's at 6 o'clock. We asked to register on our website first, but if you show up at the last minute, it's completely fine. But we're going to kind of go through all the, you know, A through Z, all the symptoms and the, you know, reasons why you should talk to your doctor about this, the options for treatment. So just a little in general over everything. So then you can take that information and then go back to your doctor and talk to them.
And how important is it for women to come together to be able to, because I think that we do it on our own. I'm that person. I'm just going to do it by myself. But to bring people together, and women especially, how important is it to be able to have this collaborative effort?
Yeah, it's really helpful. I think there can be a lot of gaslighting that happens. Women need to know their estrogen receptors everywhere in her body. So the symptoms can be huge. So what some women may mistake for something else really could be menopause. So having that sisterhood and talking about their experience can be really educational and supportive.
Well, I appreciate this because you question yourself on everything. And I think the biggest thing is, and I'm sure you've heard this too, am I going crazy?
Yeah.
Right? Do women come in and ask you that all the time?
All the time.
Yeah. Am I going crazy?
And that's where the menopause madness, kind of the March madness came from.
Yes, because we think we're going nuts, and yet it's just something that, we should go through this because it's a natural thing that our body has to go through, correct?
Right. Exactly.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for being willing to talk about such a sensitive subject with me. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Zuli Direct's lecture on menopause madness happens March 18th at 6 p.m. Doors open at 5:30 at the Racklin Carmichael Hall Auditorium at the University of Notre Dame. The lecture is free, but space is limited and registration is required. You can register on their website at zulidirectcare.com.